Alright, what's going on, guys? It is your boy TKD123 here, back in PlayStation Source, and this is probably a late video, right? Like, I just had to spend a lot of time on this video just to really just get all the info that we could garner from this, and I really wanted to wait to officially make this video, right? Because this got announced, I think last Wednesday or last Tuesday? It was last Tuesday, yeah. So we're almost about a week from this announcement, and I wanted to get all of the different quotes and all of the different takes and everyone just go to really get the full context as what we will be talking about here, which is the newly revamped PlayStation Plus. It is official. We do have the quote-unquote Game Pass competitor coming in, which really in a lot of ways it's not, in some ways it really is, but we'll go over what you should be subscribing to if you are in the interest of upgrading your PS Plus tier to one of the higher tiers that we will talk about here in the video. But this is the new PS Plus that we'll be rolling out later on this year, and we're gonna go over all the info that we have on it so far, as well as my take on how I feel about it overall and what tier that I think you should be subscribing to as well. So going into this here, the blog will be linked below in the description if you want to read along with me as well and get all that info there as well. But what has happened here, okay? PS Plus and PS Now, as we know it, are now combining into this new revamped service, which is dubbed PlayStation Plus, right? Which will be also having 2 additional tiers that will offer more incentives and really bring in that PS Now flavor as well, that we will go over very shortly here. So this is also phasing out the standalone PS Now service that you are currently subscribed to if you are a subscriber or you are meaning to, you know what I'm saying? Like, PS Now has always been just a standalone service that is now going to be phased out upon this change. However, they say here, quote, PlayStation Now customers will migrate over to PlayStation Plus Premium with no increase to their current subscription fees at launch. So we'll go over the premium tier later on, but that is the highest tier of the new revamp. So any PS Now subscriber will automatically be garnered in to the premium tier upon release of this new service. And also something that I had a big question about, you know, when this whole news was coming out, was what comes of the PlayStation Plus collection, which is of course the 20 or so games that are exclusive to PS5 users that have a PS Plus subscription. So we have my boy here, Jonathan Dornbush of PlayStation IGN. He says here, quote, for those wondering, PlayStation confirmed to IGN that the PlayStation Plus collection will not be going away with this change. It will remain as a benefit to all PS5 players with PS Plus. So we do have a shakeup in this as well in terms of Persona 5 being removed from the PlayStation Plus collection eventually. I think it's leaving in May or something like that. So there is that to take note of as well, but the PlayStation Plus collection as we know it is presumably going to stay in spite of these changes to PS Now and PS Plus. So when will this change take place? Okay, they say here that in June of 2022 it will be the initial launch of this new service of PS Plus, and it will be launching in Asia and other markets in Asia, as well as followed by North America, and then everywhere else where PS Plus is offered, including Europe, etc., by what they say is the end of the first half of 2022. So they say they plan to have most of, you know, the countries in the world that have PlayStation Network covered with this new PS Plus service by the end of July, presumably. So a very quick turnaround, you know, just going to take about June to July, and it will be launching worldwide. Now let's go over the big breakdown here. Let's break down these tiers here, okay? So starting off here, of course, first, PlayStation Plus Essential. This is going to be, long story short, what we have right now with PS Plus. They will provide the 2 monthly downloadable games, exclusive discounts, cloud storage for saved games, and there are essentially no changes to this tier from the comparison of the original PS Plus. This is essentially the original PS Plus. It is going to be $10 a month or $60 a year or $25 for every quarter of the year, and I have the pricing breakdowns as well under there for different territories and such like that. PlayStation Plus Extra. This is the second tier on the service, and it is going to provide all the benefits from the Essential tier. So PS Plus, as we know it, same benefits there as well, but you get a catalog of up to 400 of the most enjoyable PS4 and PS5 games, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Plus studios, including blockbuster hits from our PlayStation Studios catalog and third-party partners. Games in the Extra tier are downloadable for play as well. So these are, you know, this is that list of PS4 and PS5 games that will be included with your essential benefits as well. And so the pricing structure here goes as follows: for $15 a month, $40 for every quarter, and then $100 a year for the PlayStation Plus Extra tier. Now we get to the juicy bit here with that premium tier here, okay? So of course, as the other tiers have dictated, you will be getting all of the benefits from Essential and Extra on the premium tier. So everything we've said before will also be included in the premium tier, but the premium tier will also offer up to 340 additional games, including PS3 games available via cloud streaming. Yep, I have a whole separate video about my gripes and things that I don't like about this, but we're gonna stick to just the info here and just the facts for you guys for the breakdown, okay? But trust me, I will talk about that PS3 cloud streaming, because I don't like that. I don't like that. A catalog of beloved classic games available in both streaming and download options from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations. This tier will also offer cloud streaming access from original PlayStation, PS2, PSP, and PS4 games offered in the extra and premium tiers in markets where PlayStation Now is currently available. Customers can stream games using PS4 and PS5 consoles as well as PC. And then a very interesting tidbit here as well: time-limited game trials will also be offered in this tier, so customers can try select games before they buy them. So the pricing structure here goes as follows: $18 a month, $49.99 quarterly, and $120 a year for that premium subscription. But we do have a little special: PlayStation Plus Deluxe in select markets. Okay, so this is going to be an extra little hidden tier of PS Plus here. So this is, quote, for markets without cloud streaming, PlayStation Plus Deluxe will be offered at a lower price compared to premium, and includes a catalog of beloved classic games from the original PlayStation, PS2, and PSP generations to download and play. Along with limited time game trials, benefits from Essential and Extra tiers are also included. Local pricing will vary by market. So those so that tier is specifically for countries that do not support cloud streaming, or don't have the infrastructure or capabilities, or don't have PlayStation Now in their country as well, but have PS Plus. You'll be able to get the deluxe version, which is more of just a somewhat trimmed down version of the premium tier, just with no cloud streaming. So those have been the tier breakdowns. We have PlayStation Plus Essential, we have PlayStation Plus Extra, and of course PlayStation Plus Premium that will be, having those three tiers. But what games at launch will we be getting? What have they said in terms of the offerings for games? Oh, also we can't forget that, of course, PlayStation Plus Deluxe. You know what I'm saying, for those that don't have cloud streaming in their countries. But what games at launch will we be getting with this service here? So we do have first party offerings, of course, that they say here, quote, at launch we will plan to include titles such as Dead Stranding, God of War, Marvel Spider-Man, and Marvel Spider-Man Miles Morales, as well as Returnal as well. And so we will definitely talk about this in the next video I have going, in terms of some things that I have that are outstanding questions, and just comments and concerns and such about this whole service here. But one thing to note here, that the latest game that they have outwardly said will be included in this service at launch is Returnal, which that dropped April 30th last year in 2021. So very interesting to see if there is going to be some sort of cadence that we can kind of garner from this. Does it depend on sales? We will get to all that in that other video that I will make later on in the future. They do say here that there are plenty of third-party games as well that will be offered in this service. They only listed Mortal Kombat 11 as a third-party game that they've talked about on this service, but of course there will definitely be more to come in the future. And I think also the third-party games are where we're going to see a lot of that mystical day and date we will potentially see here with the third party. But spoiler alert, there are no day and date first party games, as they've made it very clear here. They do say that the libraries on Extra and Premium will be, quote, a library that will be regularly refreshed. I screenshotted this quote, I highlighted it, I might as well frame it, put it on my wall, because I am very curious to see what they mean by regularly refresh. What is that timetable looking like? How frequently can we expect this to be refreshed and add and delete and bolster and refresh? Like how regularly are we talking about here? You know what I'm saying? So that I will cover in the other video as well, where we will definitely have a bigger discussion on that. But they do say here that on the extra and premium tier, so on the PS4 PS5 list on extra, and the PS4 PS5 PS1 PS2 PSP and what else PS1 PS2 PSP and PS4 games, all of those lists will be regularly refreshed according to what they've said here. Okay, so I want to make sure that is a highlighted benefit that y'all should definitely keep in mind here, that these lists are not alleged to be stagnant lists. Like, they are alleged to be living, breathing in somewhat of a regular cadence here. So overall, which tier do I think you should get? How I feel about this overall, just service level thoughts, right? So overall, I still feel like the essential tier will be the most popular. I do feel like a lot of PS Plus subscribers probably won't budge to any of the new tiers. I do feel like, upgrading will be something that might be a little bit more of like a niche thing. I bet it'll be something that is a regular occurrence in circles like this. If you're watching this video, if you're a diehard PlayStation fan, you're probably gonna upgrade. That's my assumption. But I assume that the essential tier will be, the most popular tier that will still be there. I imagine not a lot of the I just imagine that the biggest portion will still be on the essential tier, right? Long story short. But I also feel like the premium tier will be the one that is potentially the most niche tier and the least subscribed to tier overall, right? And that may change. That all depends on, of course, the list of games that are offered on that premium tier service with the backwards compatible platforms. I'm very curious to see that list, and I think a lot of this will be dictated about how those lists are looking. But I do feel that for the average gamer, right, for the average consumer of games, I feel that extra tier is going to be that sweet spot. I do feel that extra tier offering that 400 plus list of PS4 and PS5 games are going to be very enticing for those that are looking for a pseudo Game Pass like service on PlayStation. I'm not sitting here trying to tell Game Pass subscribers that this is the equivalent. I do understand and feel the same way that not having day and date first party is something that definitely divides those two services and definitely makes them less comparable overall. But I do feel that having a 400 plus list of PS4 and PS5 games that are hopefully regularly refreshed and is not just a stagnant list, I think that is going to be very enticing for a lot of people that are into modern gaming today, which, let's keep it frank here, a lot of the gamers out there are looking for modern things to play. You know what I'm saying? Like, backwards compatibility is something that is talked about and is sought out for and is wanted by a lot of people in the gaming community. However, that is not necessarily reflective of gamers as a whole, as an average, as a big conglomerate, right? A lot of people would rather play this year's releases as opposed to games from 20, 15 years ago. You know what I'm saying? So I do feel that the extra tier is going to be the one that I feel like I will recommend to a lot of people, honestly, that are into modern gaming today. If you're the average consumer of games, you're probably going to go for that extra tier, honestly. You know what I'm saying? And I think that the premium tier does have a lot of extra things that I don't think is that important to the average gamer today. You know what I'm saying? That's just my thoughts. But overall, I'm biased because the way that this leaked a few months ago is pretty much how it played out, right? Like, there aren't really any big surprises here. There are things that surprise me in the way that I don't think Sony wants me to be surprised. A bit of a shock seeing some of these things here be true, including that PS3 cloud streaming, which we will definitely get to that on the channel. Trust that. But overall, I think this is interesting. Obviously, we have long wanted PS Now and PS Plus to be under the same umbrella, and now they are. So I think the only thing that we gotta see here is how these games are looking in the extra and premium tiers of this new PS Plus. I think the pricing is fine. Honestly, I don't think that the pricing is really anything to really get up in arms about. It's just, I do have some concerns about some of the offerings, as well as I think ultimately, while I'm like, okay, this is a interesting new PS Plus, I do want to see those lists of games to really make a full judgment on it. But yeah, I mean, overall, it's looking like it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Like, not the most surprising news in the world, honestly. And we'll see when the full lists come out, and we will see how they continue to talk about this new service with us in a future state of play, I'm presuming, or something like that. So that has been the overall breakdown of the new PS Plus tiers. Which one are you subscribing to? Let me know your thoughts. Are you going to do the extra tier, the premium tier, or are you going to stay on the essential and just chill out on the essential tier? Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. And while you are down there, hit up that description. You can find links to our Discord, our Twitter, and our Anchor link that you can listen to our Road to Forbidden West podcast on podcast services. The review for Horizon Forbidden West is scheduled to go live this upcoming Sunday. Definitely get hyped for that. Me and my boy, Mr. Bad Bitch Joe Moran, are going to finish off Road to Forbidden West in a very strong fashion. Like if you enjoyed it, as well as hit subscribe to PlayStation Source to keep up with the latest and greatest in PlayStation. Thank you all for watching, and as always, greatness awaits.